All right, you guys, we were still on this flatbed. I kind of want to show you where I'm getting. So we did get this totally reattached on the back. I think I showed you guys that. I got these two pieces put in for my rear stake pocket. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't like this, but I'm going to deal with it. So this was originally in here. I don't like the gap between here and here and here and here. It's not the same as this. I like everything equal. It bothers me, I'm not gonna lie, it really bugs me. I was gonna cut it out and move it here so it's in the middle of this span. It just wasn't worth it to me, you guys. It's just my plow truck. And literally the amount of people that are gonna notice it, it's gonna be pretty slim. And the other thing is, I hate grinding, you guys, I absolutely hate it. I didn't want to have to cut this out, grind this side, pull this back, grind this side to make everything smooth and pretty again. So I just decided, screw it, I'm leaving it. So that's kind of where it's at. But I did get the other new stake pocket in. I left this long, you guys, and then I took my hammer and I just beat on it until I got it back. Then I took my cutoff wheel and cut both pieces, the little chunk that was left on the original frame and the piece that I just bent back. So I got a perfect little seam that I can just weld this right back up. So it'll continue this right around the corner just like it used to. I'll do the same thing on this side. You can see there's that gob of stuff kind of right there. I will put my stake pocket in, I will beat this back, and I'll cut right through here and through that at the same time. So it lines that cut up perfect. So I can beat this back flush against here, and then I can weld that one little seam up. So it'll look just like this. This will kind of flow around the corner. Right in that's hot still. But yeah, so now I got just that one little weld. I'll do that, I'll grind the paint off, get that one little weld in. This side's done. You guys, we are really close to being done with this portion of this flatbed build. I do have this piece too, you guys, that I'm contemplating putting on there. I gotta grab a receiver hitch. To me, this is the way a receiver hitch should look. So this is what's in here. There's a hole, you can barely get the pin in. I have a feeling someday I'm gonna cut this off. I don't like how close that pin is to here, but this is the way it should look. It should have that step. So I had this for another project. I ended up not building it. So I'm gonna probably weld that on there. I gotta check with my pin and stuff. Usually I like this tube flush with the front because it leaves, you can see this just a teeny bit big. Leaves a perfect spot to run a weld around there. And all this does is just finish it off, make it look more professional to me. I'm gonna obviously probably cut out holes here for hooks. I don't know why they didn't. Seems odd to me. But I think I am gonna put that on there just to make it look better. I don't know. I normally like it where this tube is flush with here. Then you got this perfect little butt weld to go around here. It just really finishes off a receiver hitch to make it look better. We'll see if I do it. I might end up just hacking that off there. I don't know. Oh God, I keep touching that. It's freaking hot. Damn. I'm an idiot sometimes. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish this side. I may look at doing this. I gotta grab some receivers and some pins and see how well it works. Oh shoot, that's the other thing we gotta do. I gotta come back and make plates for this, fish plates to go over these two sides. Right here and right here, just to hold that piece together better. We'll see if I do that or not. I don't know if it really needs it. This truck is not gonna see a lot of weight. Literally, I'm just putting this back on here because the original bed was smashed by a tree when I bought this truck. So yeah, we'll see. I may or may not. We still do gotta drill our 2 holes there and our 2 brackets. I still gotta get to that. But I'm gonna get that welded up, that corner. I'm gonna get the pocket in over here, that welded up. Drill those 2 holes. Then I'll get back to you guys and we'll decide what we do next. I might start putting wiring in because I don't really have the metal for the headache rack part yet, or I might use that part, set it up there, see what it looks like. Now that this bed is pretty much mounted, I can undo this chain and I can use it to lift that, because you guys, that doesn't look like a lot of metal. That thing's pretty freaking heavy. I was surprised. So I do have some more channel. I could scab something onto this truck and see if I like it or not. All right, you guys, we got this all, well, mostly. I got this, I kind of took some of the ugly off this corner. Whoever kind of built this before, it was, oh man, it was ugly, you guys. But I did get my piece tied back here. I ground that smooth just to kind of blend in with this. Same with this corner, you guys. I got this beat over, I got my pocket put in. I kind of ground most of this smooth. This one was even worse on this side. I'm just trying to knock some of the ugly off this because this thing's a little, what I call farmerized. You can tell a farmer built this. It was stick welded. It's rough. It was cut with a torch. It's not the greatest flatbed in the world, but it is gonna totally serve its purpose. We're knocking the ugly off this thing, turning dog shit into gold every time I touch this thing. So got the corners cleaned up. This is back on. All of our mounts are in here. I decided I'm not gonna fish plate these, you guys. There's gonna be a bolt right here, right there. I haven't drilled those holes. I'm gonna drill them. But the main piece of it out here where it was welded prior, it's welded the exact same way. This thing ain't going anywhere. I'm not putting a ton of weight on this thing because this is only a half ton. But I am gonna drill these holes. I didn't want to rip my wrists off yet because that's gonna suck drilling those. I'm gonna have to use my big drill because it's over a 1/2 inch hole. I don't know if anyone's used a really big, like super torquey drill. You'll be drilling it, it'll just grab and jerk and like rip your arm off. I didn't want to deal with it. So I went on to this. There was already a hole here for, I think this is a 5-pin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-pin, whatever, 6-pin connector. The one that was, this is the original one that was on the truck. You can see somebody ran 2 self-tapping screws in there, put it in the bumper of the other truck, or the bumper of this truck on the original bed. The holes that are in there, I cut a portion of this wiring harness off and threw it away. It was on this flatbed that ran all these lights and this. The bowl holes line up perfectly. So I opened up this hole a little bit to stick, because there's a bunch of like connectors, these big connectors like this in there. Stuff those back through. There is a 4-pin on this also, so I'm gonna have to figure out some way to mount a 4-pin on here. I may cut a slot, stick it. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet, but there is a 4-pin. I'm gonna look through all my extra junk, see if I have like a bracket that this thing will just slide on so I can mount that thing there. I'm gonna cut some holes in here. I'm gonna mount that thing probably here. I'm gonna finish running these wires. So part of this, one side of this, I think this is left side. So this is the tail lights over here. Sorry. Then there's another one over here. This is tail lights for the other side. As you can see, there's doubles, 6-inch, 4-inch rounds. I think they're 4-inch rounds. 4.5 probably. 4.5, there's duals. So I'm gonna try to find some LED taillights locally, hopefully. Probably not, I'm guessing it'll be Amazon. Yeah, shopping locally is just rough around here. I do have some of the original rounds, you guys, they were in there. But I only have 3 of them, and they're like halogen bulbs. I want LEDs, so we're not gonna even try to put those in there. I only had 3 of them, not 4. So yeah, we're gonna try to get this wire strung where it needs to be, get those put in there. I'm gonna paint a little bit of this. I also have the original, these are, I think I just showed you guys, these are the original lights, license plate lights. So I'm gonna cut some holes for those, get those mounted. I do have the little covers for them too, so they direct the light one way. So I pulled those off the original bed of the truck, so that'll direct some light towards this license plate. So we got this lit. I'm still dealing with that back part too. So, but I'm doing wiring right now. I'm gonna get all these snugged up where I want them and looking decent-ish for what it is. I don't know, maybe I should have painted that before I mount. I don't care, that's gonna be black anyway. So I'm gonna spray a little bit of this with some spray paint. So I'll show you where I get when I get, but it's looking pretty good, you guys. All right, you guys, I've been hacking at this for a little bit. I put a little bit of paint on this. I wanted to see what it looked like. I don't even remember where the hell I told you I was at last time. But anyways, we're going on to this. So I took my license plate off because I didn't want to melt it, because I plased these 2 holes out right here. I'm gonna have to scrape off a little bit of crap here and spray a little. Don't worry about the runs over here. I got a little bit of runs in my paint. Not a big deal. Anyways, So these holes are for these. So these are license plate lights that were original in the bumper on the truck. This flatbed didn't have any provisions for that. It had provisions for the plug, but no lights. So I came through, I plowed out the hole. I measured this part right here because I'm super dumb. That's the part that sits against there. So if I would have done just that, it would have sat like way out. So I had to make the hole bigger. So that's like inch 300. This is inch 600, something like that, I think. I don't know. Anyways, I had to open my hole up a little bit more. I came back through with my die grinder, cleaned them up. Now they're gonna fit. Both sides fit pretty good. I'm drilling and tapping holes right now to mount these. They do have covers. The covers just direct the light. So that's it with the cover on. Directs the light back towards the license plate. Normally, we're gonna see how this works. These are flat. Normally they're like that. So it directs the light back towards the plate. We're gonna mount them flat. We're gonna see what happens. In the bumper of the truck there at an angle. Let me show you the bumper of the truck. For those people that have never seen a Chevy bumper this style. So that's the bumper. See how they mounted an angle? They face back towards the license plate. I'm literally mounting them flat right next to the license plate. We'll see what happens. I might have to come back, put a piece of angle iron to mount them this way. But for now, we're gonna try this, see what happens. We'll check them tonight. I hope you guys are not getting my entire shadow in there. It's really hard to see the camera, you guys. Sorry, it's like pretty bright out. But anyways, license plate hole. That's the light. It angles back towards it. We're gonna try to mount them flat, so we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping it'll be enough. I'm hoping it's not just like a blinding thing. Here's the thing, you guys, this thing doesn't see the road. It literally lives in chains on my property. You guys heard me say that before. So the other thing I want to show you guys too is, so I'm just using these self-tapping screws. They're a hex head, self-tapping screw. Here's what I will tell you. So this is like, I think I might have told you guys it was 3/16 earlier. It's like 11 gauge, 10 gauge, somewhere in there. A sheet of that's like 165 bucks right now. So I might have misspoke a little bit earlier. Here's what I do. So in anything thicker than like 16 gauge, I pre-drill a hole. So I have my drill bit. I think that's like a 140 drill bit. The minor diameter, which minor diameter on a thread is the smallest diameter in between the threads on this. So I drilled it at a 140. It measures about 160. So that this has a drill bit on it. It gives it just enough to drill and tap a thread into there. Here's what I do. Every 2 holes, I throw this away. So I drill it, tap it, drill it, tap it, throw it out, get a new one. Because here's what'll happen is it'll start dulling when you're drilling through a little bit thicker gauge metal. This drill bit will start dulling and it'll go in and it'll snap it off. Then you're trying to fight drilling through this hole. I drill 2 holes, throw it out. This thing is like pennies versus hours of trying to re-drill this out and figure out how to get it out of there. Thin gauge, it's not too bad. When you start getting into stuff a little thicker, it starts becoming an issue. So literally I did that hole and that hole so I can bolt this in. I'm gonna throw it away. I'm gonna come over here, pre-drill, use this as a drill and tap, throw it away, put brand new ones in. That's how I do it, you guys. Literally, I've never had a problem doing that. And there is a ton of these in that black Jeep. When I was younger, I used these like crazy to mount everything in the fender wells in the engine bay and that. So I've dealt with it a lot, especially like a lot of this down in here is like 3/16. I'm hoping you can see that right there. That's a piece of rubber. So these are all hydraulic lines that run my full hydraulic steering on this thing. I put that piece of rubber there. It's ran in with these. Some of it's through 3/16, some of it's through sheet metal. But yeah, literally 2 holes, pitch it, new screw, sorry. That's how I do it. You guys can make your own judgment. That's just what I found in the past. It's worked well for me. But I'm gonna get these mounted. All right guys, we're back on this plow truck. I got my lights in. I pulled it out of the shop. Got my license plate lights in. I got to put a ground on it still. I haven't done that yet. My plug's in. Got everything pretty much done. I threw a coat of paint on it just to make sure that it stops rusting. It looks way better. This truck is way better now. I'm still gonna build some kind of headache rack, you guys. I'm just really like mentally struggling with life, so I'm gonna wait on this. I'm gonna go do something for myself, I think. Try to get away from working for a little bit, get my head on square. But yeah, it's turning out pretty awesome. I like, oh boy, there's a big old spot over there I missed painting. Yeah. I didn't pull this plow off, or this bed off, you guys, to paint it. I painted it right on there. I tried to paint as much of the frame as I could too. It's just rattle can, but it's looking pretty good. It's right about at the right height. I'm liking it a lot. It's gonna look cool when I get the headache rack in here. I'll probably have some kind of wood in the middle there. Yeah, I like it. It's turning out pretty awesome for, you know, turning dog shit into gold. Yeah, super stubby, you guys. Look at how stubby I got this thing. Like, it's literally right next to the... Let me show you from the other side so you're not looking in the sun. Dutch Ed, big red truck. Yeah. Right behind the leaf spring hanger. It is tight and right, you guys. I still got my wires hanging down here. I still got to find a mount for my four-way here. I got to find some taillights. The ones I have are pretty much junk. There's only 3 of them and they're rough. But I did get all my wiring in. I do got to put my ground back on. I'm assuming this is why my taillights, my little license plate lights aren't working right now. But yeah, other than that, it's looking pretty good. I like it. I really wish I could have, if I would have built this from the start, I would have 45'd these corners. It's just hard because these lights are so close to that. I mean, literally it's that far to where it's not even 1 knuckle deep. Haha, that's funny. To that cross member. So trying to cut that and turn it and get a light in here without patching that hole and just looking rough, yeah, it just wasn't going to happen, you guys, and I didn't want to put the effort into it. It wasn't worth it to me for this. If it was like my daily driver, like I wanted something super custom that was like showing my name off, this was a flatbed that I refurbished. So yeah, it is what it is, you guys. It still looks 100 times better than what it was. We put some money into it. It's looking way better. I mean, this truck went from kind of looking pretty rough to now it looks like a normal truck. Like literally this truck had a tree dropped on it, didn't have a salvage title. Now I put a flatbed on it. It's probably worth, you know, way more than what I paid for it. I'm not into this truck a whole lot, you guys. So it's actually, if I resell it someday, it's really going to bring me some money back. It kind of looks like everything's tilted a little. It's sitting on a little bit of a hill, you guys. That's why it's level. I've put the level on it multiple different times. Ooh, speaking of levels, you guys, on a better note, I did buy this thing. Pretty neat. Another little addition to the shop. I recommend this. I haven't used it a whole lot. I used it a little bit on this, but literally, ooh, it's not looking very good in the screen already. It's a angle finder, so it tells you if something's level. It's also got, if you turn this on, it's got a laser beam on both sides. So if you put it on a wall, it'll shoot a line. I turned the other side off, but it'll shoot a line on either side. Pretty neat, and it'll tell you if something's level, out of level. And you can actually shoot a line on just about anything. It's pretty neat. I like it. I haven't found a whole lot of uses for it. I mainly bought it because it's magnetic. So when I'm using my tubing bender, my tubing bender's under here. When I'm using my tubing bender, I should be able to put this on and read the angle of whatever my pipe is sitting at and make sure that it's level. That's the main reason I bought it. Oh, it must have been cold. That's why the digital readout wasn't working. It's working now. And maybe the camera's messing with it too. I don't know. I'm scared to show you. Oh yeah, look, I was like, within a degree of being level there. And that's just with a bubble level when I built this. And I built this multiple years ago, so it may have sagged a little bit. Yeah, so this thing's gonna be pretty handy. Literally, you know, I needed it. So that's why we got it. It was super cheap, Amazon. Yeah, check it out, you guys. There's the name of it. Not a sponsor or anything. I just bought it because I wanted it. I needed it. There's so many times that I use a bubble level and it's not quite 100% accurate enough. And this one's magnetic on multiple sides, so it's rechargeable. It's got a charger back here. Yeah, so check this out, you guys. You'll see this in future videos. You can see the magnetic's already picking up some crud on it, and I just kind of wiped it off. Yeah. Check these guys out. I haven't used it 100% yet. I just tried it a little bit, playing around with it. But there's multiple projects I have ideas for this. Multiple projects I want to use this on. Sorry, geez, I'm struggling, you guys. I'm having a rough week. Yeah, but totally check these guys out. I got this off Amazon. It was pretty freaking cheap, considering it's a laser level and angle finder, magnetic. Yeah, pretty cool though. Check them out. All right, you guys. I've been kind of hacking at this for a little bit. I think I'm gonna try to use this thing. I did want to show you guys too. I'm not sure if I showed you, got my lights on. I didn't try them last night. Well, I turned them on to make sure that they work. I had to reattach my ground right here. You just use a self tapper, put it to the frame there. They do come on. I don't know if they light the license plate or not. I'll try them tonight maybe. We'll see where I get. But I am putting this on, you guys. I was kind of telling you guys I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it, rebuild it, do something different. I honestly don't want to buy any more metal. So I'm going to make it work, you guys. It's just my plow truck. And honestly, it doesn't look too bad. It's not the most attractive thing in the world, that's for dang sure. But it's better than nothing. It's a little wide. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I don't hate it either. It's going to serve its purpose on this. You can see it's just a little bit wider than the truck. This is actually the cross member, you guys, that used to be right there. I hacked that out, and I'm using that. You can see I'm making some paper templates. This is what's it's gonna look like here. I'm gonna tie it together that way out of some plate steel. Then I'm gonna have angle iron right in here, and I'm gonna put the wood back in the front of this thing. I got some pine that I'm gonna probably stain like a dark color, hopefully. I might even just paint it black. I don't know. I just don't want to spend the money on it, you guys. The good thing about, using this, I got those hella lights I'm gonna mount up here for reverse lights. Maybe I might put them in one of these holes down here too. I wonder if they'd fit. I didn't even think about doing them down there. I do have multiple lights here, you guys. I got tail lights, color lights. So I got these little guys too. So let's see. I don't think these ones are very bright, these little guys. Oh man, those kind of fit the vibe I got going on here. Damn. I guess then I could put my original red lights back in here. I could probably have this thing done if I actually make a mount and mount those bad boys in there. Just have those come on as reverse lights. Oh boy, those are not too shabby, you guys. I don't know. I don't know. They're not bad. They're not bad. What do these guys look like? Way too big. Can we mount them from the backside? That would look stupid. All right. I think we might do this. I might just do this, you guys. I might have to weld up some holes there. Sorry, I'm probably all over the place with the camera. Might have to weld up these threaded holes, but we might just put those right there. I got these for free, so what the hell, right guys? Maybe we'll put them on there. I'm gonna definitely put those there. Well, I don't know. I might, but I'm thinking I'm gonna put these right here too. Either there, or I might put them going forward, up there going that way. I don't know, we'll see. I definitely want to use these Hella lights. They're like a cheaper version of the Hellas, but you know, they're free, so might as well use them somewhere, right? Yeah, because then I could probably use, even though these things are pretty gummed up and nasty, might be able to clean these out and still use these original stoplights that were in there. Yeah, we'll see where I get with that. Anyways, you guys, so literally I'm using scrap to put this back together, you guys. Whatever, who cares? It's just our plow truck. It's gonna be functional, it's gonna look good enough. I am gonna cut that center out of that top so that light can be, I'll probably move these over to here so it's on either side of that light. I lined this up so that light was centered in that top so I could cut out that little middle piece, and I'll put one here, essentially on either side of that light, and get rid of that middle one so that light will still be usable. I thought maybe I was gonna have to notch the top of this. It's not covering it enough to really worry about it. So I think we're gonna go with this, you guys. I'm gonna start tacking this thing on there. I'm probably gonna have to add another bar back in the middle. There was a piece of flat strapping in there before. Yeah. I don't know, it might be 2 pieces of angle iron sandwiched together. That way I can do like half a board, another board, half a board, another board, and just put the 2 pieces of angle iron together. Because I do have some angle iron. Not a lot, but some left over from this truck. So I might do that number. So you can see my 2 pieces of angle iron. Do like that. Then I can have board going from either side. I don't know. We'll see. If I have enough boards to go all the way across this, it's like 7 feet. So we'll see how many boards I got. But yeah, I literally am gonna leave this, you guys. I'm probably gonna wait till probably next summer to probably deck this thing. It's just gonna be open this winter. I might throw some sheets of plywood down on it if I can afford them. Everything's expensive right now, you guys. I know everyone's kind of feeling the same way I am. It's hard to do anything and spend a ton of money on it, especially when this thing literally just plows snow for me. It doesn't even go on the pavement. So, but that's where I am. I'm gonna finish doing that stuff over here. I'm not a huge fan of how this is open. I might someday plate this closed so it looks like a solid box. But I do like the way it's tied in together now. That transition there is gonna really make this look a lot better. I am gonna probably put a plate underneath here, or I might have this plate come down a little more. I'll probably just plate the bottom this way to give it some more structure in there. But it looks way better already, you guys. I did just barely tack this. You guys know this thing is just a little tweaked. That's why I cut it off where I did. So it's not perfect, but it's gonna function just fine, you guys. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. I'll get these plates made. I'm gonna just cut those on my plas. I got a piece, that's a piece of 3/16 I had left over for something. I'll cut it out of that, get all the stuff tacked in here, and then I can start welding stuff out. And I'll have to cut that piece out and make the middle piece. All right, everyone, we cut this pretty close. This was just a scrap piece I had laying around. I literally I'm gonna barely be able to get enough pieces out of this. So I got those 2, then I got my triangles right there. So this is both sides of the truck. We are gonna take our templates, go check them on the other side, make sure that they're spot on. Yeah, this is gonna be tight. It's gonna be real close, but it's just enough material to get this done. So that's pretty awesome. It didn't cost me nothing, so I'll get them cut out and then I'll show you guys what I'm gonna do. I gotta grind a bunch of paint off here, so I have good material. I've already cleaned this up. This I gotta clean up though, so I'll probably close the window on the truck too, so all this stuff doesn't go in there. All right, you guys. You guys seen this in the last one of my other videos. I made this a while ago, maybe a couple months ago. I'm gonna use it today. I've used it for a couple other things, mainly as a quench tank right here. for stuff that I was grinding on, blah, 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 whatever. But I'm actually going to use it to cut this today. Now you guys will kind of see why I made this thing. I did have to dump the water out of it. The water that was in there was kind of evaporating because it's so hot in my shop most times because I don't have AC or anything. So I actually pulled this top off, pulled the grate off, pulled this top section off from here up. And it had about that much water left in it. I went and dumped it, sprayed everything out, and now I'm refilling it. I tried to fill this thing and lift this thing by myself. It's too much. My back wouldn't do it. So I think with me and my son, we could do it pretty easily. By myself, it was heavy. That's why I decided to put it back on the top back on the base, and fill it in the shop. Like I said, there was still water in it. It was just looking a little gross. There was like dead flies and moss and like some kind of fungusy looking thing going on in there. And it was like a grayish color that I didn't like so much. So we dumped it, cleaned it. It's been, holy cow. I don't know, you guys might be able to look back on my videos and figure out how many months it's been since I've actually used this thing, but I have been using it quite a bit for mainly Dunkin' metal and stuff like that I've just ground on that's, you know, hot or whatever. And I have used a little bit of for cutting plas stuff. So we're going to use it again today. This is why I built it, the whole reason I built it. That totally splashed me. Oh, it definitely helped you guys. Wow, that's super dirty in there. Look at how dirty that made that water. Oh, it's kind of hard to tell on the camera, but yeah, it's kind of yucky in there. Should probably pull those big pieces out. All right, you guys, we've made it quite a ways here. We got all this welded, grinded. It's pretty hot still. You can kind of see the edge of my weld right there. I tried to grind most of this away. This metal, dude, I don't know if you guys ever dealt with like super rusty metal or like stuff that farmers have welded on with their magic rod, but it's hard to weld. Like you get porosity and stuff popping up in your welds. I've had to grind this out a few times. Try to re-weld it. I left most stuff on the inside. They're not the greatest welds either, I'm not gonna lie. I'm struggling a little bit with this metal just because it's so junky. I don't know what kind of stick welding whoever built this was using. It's ugly. It's just hard to weld into it. Even after you grind all the weld away, there's still like just pockets of, I'm guessing, flux or whatever was in the stick welder. But it is what it is. I did get them on there. I got them all ground up. They look pretty good. It actually tied this in pretty good. I don't like how this is open, you guys, but it's what I got. I'm not going to put a whole ton of time into this. I do got a lot of time into this. I just don't want to put more money into it, I guess. Someday I might come back and plate this. I don't know. It's probably not even really worth it. Once I still got to put my angle iron in here so I can throw my wood in on the back of that. And honestly, that thing will be stout as hell. I mean, it ain't going anywhere right now. It's good and strong. So yeah, we're getting there, guys. I'm gonna look at putting angle iron in, putting this in, then we'll start chopping wood and getting wood bolted in, just on that section. I said I was gonna, you know what? I think I'm gonna deal with that up there. I'm gonna cut that center out so my tail light can shine through there. My third brake light. I'll probably build 2 pieces on the outside, get those welded in. And then maybe we'll slap a little paint on this portion. Kind of wish I would have painted the backside of that before I welded it on there solid. We'll paint what we can. It's got, whoever did do this, they painted it pretty good. They primed and painted it, so it's good. I buy paint primer in one, so they did a good job painting it. Looks like it's lasted pretty well. I mean, some of it's got a little rusty where the wood, like this piece was underneath. That was essentially the bottom of the deck. It got pretty blasted. But other than that, you know, it's flatbed, you guys. It's gonna serve its purpose very well. I'm really digging. I'm glad that I cut this off shorter. It just makes it look so much better. Yeah, we're about done, guys. I'm gonna get that cut off. Then I'm gonna probably start going into wiring here after I get that cut and this stuff dealt with. That might have to be next week, and we'll see if I make it that far or not. Show you guys this from the front too. Just above the cab. All right, you guys, I pulled this out so you guys can kind of see what it's looking like. It's actually, it looks pretty good. I'm surprised after I got everything kind of welded and everything painted up. Looks pretty good. Like I said, it's a little wide here, but it's not horrible. Like, I've seen way worse flatbeds than this. Like, way worse. For, you know, just kind of throwing this thing together, it's looking pretty good. Really fits this truck though. Like the vibe of this truck, I guess, the era. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of this being open, but you know, it is what it is. It's looking pretty good. I got enough wood to fill this. I might put one more piece support in the middle, just so I have somewhere else to bolt so my wood doesn't go wee. But yeah, it's getting there, you guys. Look at that thing is bobbed off right behind the freaking leaf springs, dude. Like, I got it really tight. It is a little bent this way. That's just kind of the way it was when I got it. I'm guessing people have drug it on the ground before. It's not super horrible. It's what I had to work with, so it looks pretty good though. I like it so far. Definitely gives this truck a different look, different attitude for sure. And it's funny, it's bobbed. I literally cut, let's see, I cut 12 inches out of the flatbed, but I cut, let's see, almost 15 inches out of the truck altogether, from the back of this bumper to where the frame was. I cut about 15 inches out of this truck, but it actually made it very proportioned. I don't know if you can tell. Like I said, it's sitting nose down still. Someday I might have to put some air shocks in the front of this thing. We'll see once I get the rest of the weight on this. I still got to put my spare tire rack on. I got to deck this thing with some 1/8 inch or 10 gauge, 11 gauge, somewhere in there. That'll add some weight. I got to get my lights in still, but yeah, I still got to figure out my gas thing too. I dealt with this today, not the gas gauge. But here's what's funny is, you guys look down this thing. I finally got it damn near straight. You guys remember how tweaked that thing was? I literally put a ratchet strap from here to here, to the light hole, tail light hole, up to here. Tack that far side really good and solid level. Then I ratchet strapped this corner back. I then built this corner. So, you know, it's turning out pretty good, you know, for taking something that was pretty rough and turning it into something that's gonna be really good for our family. Yeah, it's perfect. It looks so much better than the crappy box that was on here that was just demolished. Yeah, it makes this truck look great again, man. I mean, the cab on this truck is damn near mint. I mean, this truck only has, I think, 29,000 on it. And it's just a 6-cylinder, you guys. It's a workhorse, you know. It ain't no speed demon, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do. Pushes snow. But I think someday I'm going to put mud flaps front and rear on these tires. Keep the rocks from hitting the cab back here, because the cab's pretty good shape. Yeah. I just kind of wanted to pull it out so you guys could kind of see the full look of it and how close I'm getting. I'm getting close. I actually really like the way this comes up in angles like that. It's pretty awesome. The gusset part of it, that's turned out pretty neat. A lot better than I had it imagined in my head. So, I mean, that came out of my head, but it just looks better. I did get these put in too. I got the angle iron pieces put in. That's what my my wood's going to bolt to essentially. So I'm probably going to start by putting a gap underneath the bottom of this. That's still wet. I'm going to put a little gap under here, and I'm going to start attaching my wood across here. No, I lied. I'm going to put a center support in of some sort, just so my wood has something else to bolt to there. I might even do 2. We'll see what I got for material. Yeah, it's looking good, guys. We're getting there.